But for now, let me jump straight into welcoming my next guest this morning. Her name is Wanjiru Gishangi, and she's a Forex trader, and she does it full time. She's turned this into a business for herself and goes ahead to even coach those who are interested in learning about Forex trading. Today, she's here to tell us about how she got into this activity industry and then built it into a business for herself. Karibu sana to the show.
Asante sana.
The Forex market has always seemed like something very elusive for a lot of Kenyans, right? Sisi tunajua tu shilingi ya Kenya. So by the time we start saying that we're trading Forex, it almost feels like it's very far off. Did you have any sort of business experience or banking experience? How did you figure this out? How did you get into it?
Thank you for having me today. Forex is not so elusive, neither is it so new, because the first time you get that name, like the foreign exchange, is in maybe primary school, when you're learning that we use different currencies in different countries, but it gets to just definition. Then you get to high school, you're doing business studies, you find it there. There's a whole chapter on it, but it also gets to just definition in different currencies. Then you go to college or university. If you're lucky to do the business course that has a public finance unit, then that's where you learn now Forex in depth. And that's my first experience with Forex.
In college?
Yeah, in college.
Okay.
I did a term paper in public finance, and my term paper was Forex market.
Okay.
And, yeah.
So you've actually built this into a business, and the truth is, a lot of the times when we hear about these things, especially if are online, Kenyans can immediately begin to say, that's just another scam. And we've had many scams in this country, I think you'd agree. So do people actually make money from this? Is it a scam?
No, Forex is not a scam. It's a market. Actually, it's a real market, just like we have Gikomba in Kenya. There is a market for money, and that's where I earn from.
Right.
Like, it's a real market, it's not a scam, but you just have to have the right information. Rather, you find yourself in a scammer's pocket.
Right.
Talking about Forex that is not real, but it's a real thing.
What sort of background does one need, though, to become a Forex trader? You did a whole term paper on public finance, so already you sound like a choppy. But like for the rest who maybe didn't do economics or finance, is Forex trading something that they can get into as well? Or what sort of skills does one need?
Actually, Forex doesn't need my finance background or economics or anything. All you need is an appetite for money and your way around the computer and some mental discipline, because being a market of money, there is lots of money, but you need to be disciplined enough not to approach that market with a gambling mentality, like I want to be the next millionaire tomorrow. That won't work. That won't happen. So anybody can get into Forex market. You don't have to be from a business background or to have, I don't know what certificates, degrees, no. As long as you have a desire to earn, you're disciplined to learn, you're patient, because that market moves with cycles and patterns. You can force them. You have to wait. So you got the patience, you have computer literate, and the discipline, you're good to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
So walk me through now, how exactly does it work? How does Forex trading, happen?
Okay.
How do
So
I begin?
this is like when I wake up in the morning, I don't have an office to go to. My office is my workstation. Like, I open my computers. Before then, you're supposed to have a trading account. A trading account, you get it from a Forex broker. In Kenya, we are lucky we have two. We have the EGM and we have Scoop Market, that's like local ones. Then we have hundreds of them, international ones.
Okay.
So as long as you're having a trading account, all you have to do is load some money in that trading account in. You don't have to have a dollar account. It can convert, you do the conversion to dollars.
So I can put my Kenya shillings
Kenya
in
shillings now converted to dollar through the platform. Then you open the platform. The platform just gives you charts and graphs about what the market is doing. How is the dollar moving against these other currency? Because currencies are bought and sold in pairs. You can just buy one.
Right.
They are in pairs.
Okay.
So you wake up in the morning and you check the charts, or rather you do what we call market analysis.
Okay.
Now, after you've done your analysis, it's where, like, if you've been trained, you know what to look for.
Right.
So once whatever you're looking for has happened, then you're either a buyer or a seller. You buy, let's say in an instance where you're buying, you buy and then wait for that money to, to increase in the price, and then you sell it, or rather you close your trade, and whatever you've made as profit is your money.
Okay.
Yeah,
But it
that's
sounds like
important.
you have to be like hii huwezi toa macho uangalie kwingine, like you have to constantly be on it because you need to be monitoring whether it's up or it's down.
No, you're not glued on the computer all the time. You're glued there for maybe an hour when you're doing the market analysis.
Okay.
When you're doing the market analysis, or rather when you're waiting for the trade setup, now you have to be glued.
Okay.
Then after you've gotten your setup and you're in the market, now you just have to set something we call a stop loss. That is the much you're risking in that market, and your take profit, the much you anticipate to earn. And then you can just close off your computer and maybe get busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do I need a lot of money to begin with, first of all? Because already when you think about our Kenya shilling, we know that the dollar is a lot stronger. So how much would you say one needs to get started?
That basically depends with the broker you're using, because it's the broker who determines the minimum deposit
Okay.
and also what you want to trade.
Right.
Because if you just want to, in the Forex market, there are so many things that you can trade. You can trade metals like gold, you can trade oil, you can trade commodities and currencies. So if you just want to do currencies, which is the easiest and actually that is less heavy,
Yeah.
you can do $50, that is 5,000 Kenya shillings.
Oh, you
That will
can
be
get started.
comfortable for beginner.
Okay.
I know people can do less, and they have done less, like $20, that's 2,000. But for me as a mentor or as a coach, I usually say start with something that can absorb your shock, because when you're dealing with real money, it really gets tough, because as you're learning, you'll be learning on a virtual account.
Okay.
Which is a demo that just has virtual money with no consequences. But now once you go to a live account, there's that emotional baggage.
Right.
You're scared. So you
Right.
need money that can really hold you back, like can hold your account so that you don't get your first account is blown and
Right.
you suffer. Yeah.
So when we're talking about profit, I mean, because you said people make a living out of this and you're doing it full time. Can you give us a range maybe of like how much profit one can expect? I mean, hopefully on a good day, or what are some of the, I guess, the highlight stories, I'd say, of the sort of profits that people have been able to make out of Forex trading?
That usually is a tricky one, because I have students out there watching. I don't want to give return figures, and this is what I usually say. What you will earn on that market equals, like, return equals your discipline, your patience, your skill. So, yeah. Let me not give figures for the sake of
Alright.
students watching out there. And I
Okay.
don't want people to go live. They're still on demo because Wanjiro said they can get these millions.
Yeah.
So
Oh, millions. Okay. Well, at least we heard millions. But students, focus and pay attention to your teacher first. Follow the process. Very, very interesting. Before we let you go and we go on break, you've talked about, like, at some point you kind of need to get, more into intellect or understanding about how to actually do this, and that's where the market analysis comes in. So it sounds like there's certain skills that you develop as you go about this. What would be sort of your top 2 or 3 tips as far as the best skills to be successful at Forex trading?
okay. One would be a disclaimer. Robots don't work. Everybody wants automated trading. Nobody wants to do the hard work.
Okay.
If you can send a robot to Gikomba to buy you a pair of shoes, don't do that in Forex.
Yeah.
You're going to waste money. You're going to cry, and you're the people who come online and say it's a scam and everything, while you did not do due diligence. You didn't work where work was needed.
Okay.
The second thing would be, like, you need to trade with the market makers. There are market makers in this market. The people who sweat the market. These are banks, government. You can never trade against them. And that is why most of the retail traders are not successful, because we're so focused into indicators, having automated trading things out there. You don't get to ask, where are the banks investing in? And you need to invest when the banks are investing. You need
Okay.
to trade with the market makers. The third thing will be, like, you got to be patient.
Right.
You really got to be patient.
And speaking of that patience, for those who want to follow you along then and learn on this journey, like approximately how long is one a student before you sort of release them to the real world of Forex trading?
You're a student for 3 weeks.
Okay.
Though I also, if you go through me, I give you lifetime mentorship, because sometimes life happens.
Right.
And in this field, I've learned that it's all about your mindset. I can give you the skill, but sometimes life will happen and you forget. So
All
I
right.
give you lifetime mentorship.
Okay. So how can people reach you then?
So I have a Forex page on Facebook called Forex Exploits. So you can hook me up there. Then we
Okay.
can talk.
All right. Thank you very much, Wanjiro, for coming onto the show and just illuminating our lives. I like that you're saying that you can begin with even 5,000 bob, right? So still an investment, but you've not like put in your entire life savings so that if something happens and goes wrong, you're really stranded. So thank you very much for coming. I think we've learned something new today. And I'd be very curious to hear from you guys in the SMSs. How many of you are going to give this a shot? Forex trading. 22999 is the SMS line. With that said, it is a few minutes to 9 o'clock, and so we need to get ready for our second hour. And in it, we're going to be looking at art for entrepreneurship. We're going to be talking about personal development. So in art, we're going to be talking about the skill of jewelry making. Under personal development, we'll be looking at self-love and acceptance, and our focus on tech and innovation today will be looking at FOIA Awards. That's the Founder of the Year Awards. All that coming to you at the top of the hour. Stay tuned. This is Full Circle with Joyce.